welcome to season 2 of On the Spot. At On the Spot, we discuss the issues.
Life, as we all know, can be hard as it throws upon us many challenges, obstacles, and big fat failures. So then being born handicapped or with a disability throws in an even greater challenge, especially here in Africa, where there are little to no access to disability-friendly social amenities, education, and job opportunities, amongst others. Now, in Africa, many of those born with a disability end up on the street as beggars. Only a handful go on in life to make it or become a success. Now, what happens if you become disabled along the way? How do you deal with this? My guests will be sharing their powerful stories of triumph. Now, I'm at the Sierra Leone National Stadium where my guest, George Wyndham, is here training with his coach. We're about to start the conversation. Hello, gentlemen. Hello. Hi, George. How are you? I'm going to interrupt you here slightly. I'm going to get a quick handshake from you.
Nice to meet you.
Same here as well. Thank you so much for letting me just come and interrupt your training. And hello, Coach Joseph Kuruma.
Yeah.
I guess you're the man who's behind his success.
Yes.
We have some other people here. We have, hello. You're also training to become a table tennis pro like George. Okay, and then we have as well another person here. Emmanuel. So thank you so much. Don't worry, you guys can go ahead. While else just engage Coach a little bit. Hello, Coach. How are you?
I'm fine.
How long have you known George, and how has it been like for you training him?
Well, I've known George since the year 2000 because this our legend, one of our legends, actually spotted him and brought him to us to start training him. We started training him. At first, it was really difficult, but as time goes on, we started getting used to the training. Then, here we started doing it.
So how long have you been a coach? And how unique has it been for you training George, especially given the fact that he is slightly challenged compared to the other people? How has it been, really managing that?
Well, that was really interesting for me because for you to train at the school, I appreciated it, and it was a dream come true for me because of all the training they gave him. They made us proud by bringing in so many laurels to the country and to the discipline as well. So that was very, very good.
So George Wyndham is Sierra Leone's, or one of Sierra Leone's most decorated athletes in the history of Sierra Leone. We'll be telling you a little bit more about that. So, Coach, you've seen him grow over the years.
Yeah.
What next for George? Where else again beyond what you see and all that he's achieved right now?
Well, he has achieved a lot, but we are still hoping that he will achieve more than what he has achieved. And presently, he will be going for the Olympic qualifying in Egypt. Then, if he qualifies, then he will go for the Olympic the next year.
And wow, that's good. And you're quite confident that he's got what it takes.
Yes, I'm quite confident that he will make it. And then after this qualifying, he will be going to Germany for proud Paralympic educator course in Germany. And if he succeeded, he will be one of the instructors in the world. Yes.
In the world?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
Because he has done the first course and the second course. The first course he did in Egypt, the second in Ethiopia. Now he's going for the final course now in Germany. And if he succeeded, then he will be one of those.
Basically, he becomes a coach.
Instructor.
What's the difference?
Instructor is more higher than the coach.
Oh, wonderful! Oh, wow! And you've been in this discipline for so many years. Around the world, how many people with a disability have attained to that level of being an instructor in table tennis?
Well, there are some, but they are not too many. Not too many. And we will be proud because he is a Sierra Leonean
and he's African
and
as
African
well.
as well. And in some competition, he has also represented Africa, Team Africa.
Team Africa.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
He played with the Egyptians, the Tunisians, Algerians, because you know the Arabs, they are more good in table tennis. But whenever George was at one time number 3 in Africa.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So how do you feel having to train someone who has brought so much glory as a Sierra Leone?
I feel so good and I feel so happy, and more especially, I am encouraging another athletes who wants to play this game. The door is open for them, especially the disabled and the younger boys and girls.
Yeah. So how important is this, especially because we have a lot of disabled people out there, and they use that as a reason not to really empower themselves. How is it important for them to find some sort of a sports activity or discipline and use that as a means to empower themselves? How important is that?
Well, it's very important. As I said, George has already been a role model. So most of them now, they are coming to table tennis, and we are opening our arms to them, embracing them, encouraging them to continue their practice. Maybe one day they will even do more better than George.
Yeah. Okay, so for me, I'm a novice, table tennis. So let's just imagine I'm your new student here now, and I want to learn. What are the first things I need to understand about this game, table tennis?
The first thing you will have to learn is to control the ball.
Okay.
After controlling the ball, we bring you to the table. You don't just come to the table.
Okay.
You'll be controlling the ball like this. We tell you to control the ball like this.
Okay.
This is the forehand, and then you will do the backhand, you control.
Okay, so let me try that and see how well I can do that. I'm gonna play against you, John. So I'm proud. Okay.
Yep. See?
That's progress.
Yes.
That's progress.
That's progress.
And so I just have to be able to.
Yes, the ball has to be bouncing on the racket.
Okay.
Then at the same time, you should control the ball. The ball should not control you.
Me.
You stand. You should be static.
Right, and
Yes.
then I have to do the back as well.
The back as well.
Okay, I will get there. So if I'm going to play someone as big as George, what tips? What are the tips you're going to give me so I can probably have a one against him?
Then you will need a lot of training. Basically, to become a professional, you need about 5 to 6 years training.
Okay.
When I said training, it's effective training.
Effective training.
Because this game, we have a slogan, C to the power 3. This C to the power 3 means concentration, control, and consistency.
Consistency.
Yes.
Wow.
That is why we always say C to the power 3. If you don't have these 3,
Okay.
then you can't play the game.
All right, well, I'm going to test out my novice skills against a pro, and I'll see how well he will beat me in this.
Okay.
So wish me luck.
Wish
So
you better luck.
I hold it this way, right?
Yes.
And then what do I do?
Bounce the ball.
Bounce
play,
the ball.
Play to him.
I bounce the ball, and then
Good.
here
Yes.
we go.
You went after the bounce, then you contact.
After the bounce.
After the bounce of the ball, you
So
contact.
it must bounce.
Yes, it must
Okay.
bounce, then you contact.
Okay. So for those who do not understand, it is actually
Good.
quite a bit of work. As simple as this may look, it is a lot of work. It is actually a lot of work, and I'm excited. This is basically, George is about 5 to 6 years of consistency and hard work, and hence the reason why we're here, and we just need to have a word with him and understand what has been fueling him over the years. So George, are you ready for me? All right, well, this is on the spot. We'll take a break and let me catch some breath, and we'll be back.
Domestic revenue mobilization is a key instrument for the government of Sierra Leone in reducing poverty, increasing financial independence, achieving middle-income status, and charting the path for new directions. From supporting the free quality education, good roads, healthcare, electricity, and more.
Domestic revenue mobilization is very critical when it comes to national development.
Through the Asikoda World, we have developed beautiful management tools. We have also developed systems in which it will bring transparency and help to the importer, to the broker.
iTax is a platform for all your domestic taxes. The electronic cash register system is the game changer.
Let's support government by paying our taxes. For more information, visit the nearest NRA office or log on to our website www.nra.gov.sl.
Since they started playing table tennis in Sierra Leone, since 1965, can you imagine? I am the only Sierra Leoneans that have brought medals for Sierra Leone in table tennis. The able ones have not done it yet. Yeah, these are my babies. Internationally, I've won 5 medals, and locally, I have so many lowering. In last year, 2014, I qualified for the World Championship in China, which I was supposed to attend, but because of the Ebola situation, I was not able to attend. But being disabled in Sierra Leone, Africa as a whole, it's not easy. Even the country, I mean, they don't look at you as somebody who is important, or somebody who can do something in the future, or somebody who can do something for the country because of your disability. I don't fear anyone. Yes, during matches, I don't fear anyone. If you beat me, I'm okay. If I beat you, I'm okay. But I don't fear anyone.
Thank you so much, George, for letting us just grab a bit of your time here on the show. Earlier on, when I was talking to Coach Joseph, he literally said there would have been no George without the late MK Dumbuya. How did you get to meet MK Dumbuya?
Actually, I met my late coach who brought me into table tennis in 2000, and I came to watch a football match, and I was not even thinking of playing table tennis. I was only focused on my education. So after the match, I was watching through the window when they were playing table tennis. He then saw me. He said, you want to play table tennis? I told him no, because of the way I saw the able bodies were moving. Yes, but by then I was into sports, but it was athletics, wheelchair racing. And he told me, with this kind of frame you have and with the type of disability I see in you, you are not only disabled, but you are able also. And you can play table tennis. I told him no. I can't, because the movement. Well, he took my address by then, and after a few days, he went to see me at home. And he then talked to me, tried to encourage me. I still ignore him. But he kept on going at home, following me to school, something like that. Then I said, okay, let me have a try. And I came, I started training 1 month, 2 months. Then I started loving the game. When I go to school, I sneak from school to come and train. And I played for a few years from the year 2000. I played nationally till the year 2013, when he passed away in the year 2011-12. And we had a cause here, and one of the experts that came, we are something like 35 in numbers. That was 2009, 2010. When he saw me, he said, amongst you all, the only person I see here that will do something internationally is the boy in the wheelchair. So that was where
you got the motivation to really go
Yes,
out.
indeed.
I'm sure he must have been proud of you up until the time, he passed away.
Yes.
So what was it like for you? It's not easy being disabled. For you, what was it like for you, coming here, training, and just basically building yourself to where you are today?
Well, when I started this, it was two things: school and training. You understand? It was not easy. When I started it, it was not easy. But I'm somebody that is very much persevere. Whatever I want, as long as my heart has given me to do, I do. No matter what, whether good or bad, I go into it. And I started training without nothing. I come to training, after training, nothing to eat, nothing to give back as energy, but I still come back the other day. You understand? I said, if the able body can do it, I can do it also. But truly speaking, what motivated me so much, there was a television station called BFBS. It was owned by the British, the UN. I was watching it one day, then I saw so many disabled doing this sport. I said, oh, there are other disabled out there doing sports, so why not me? So I became more interested in the sports. And from there,
The rest is same.
yes.
So what sort of support did you get from your family and friends? What was the support system for you like?
Well, actually, first of all, I'm very grateful to my family, especially my mother, because I was brought up by my mother, and she's the kind of person, when we are together at home, me and my sisters and brothers, when my elder sisters or brothers do anything, the same punishment you give to them, the same punishment she will give to me whenever I do something. Because one thing that my parents realize is that in Africa, the best career they can give somebody who is disabled is street begging. And for me, street begging is not a career. You understand? And when I was coming up, I was very much conscious of my disability, that my disability will never be a barrier for me, or will never be a stumbling block for me. And the only way society can recognize you or appreciate you as a disabled is when you do something extraordinary. You understand?
You've won over 14 medals for Sierra Leone in different competitions. And you are the only Sierra Leonean to compete in the 2016 Summer Paralympics. You represented Sierra Leone, Africa in 2014 as well. How has life been for you so far with all the things that you've achieved for Sierra Leone and Africa? How has life been for you?
Well, actually, personally, as an individual, as the saying goes, you don't ask yourself what your country has done for you, but what you've done for your country. You understand? I have the passion, and I still want to do more. I still want to achieve more. But to be frank with you, it's not easy. It's not really easy. When you have tournaments, to even have the funding to go and participate, it's not easy. It only takes the grace of God. And most of the medals you're seeing here, I won it alone. Because 90% of my competitions, I've not been going with a coach. You understand? They will tell you there's no money, the only money we have is for you alone. And just imagine as a disabled. And the rule says wherever you're going as a disabled athlete, you should have your personal assistant or a coach. You understand? But I've been going alone. You understand? But I have an aim. And my major aim was to be a Paralympian. Not only a Paralympian, but to play the World Championship. And I've succeeded in that. In 2015 was the very first time for me to play big competition, which is the World Championship in China. You understand? When I came back, I said, okay, I've fulfilled one. But the major one is the Paralympic Games. So I started working on it. I'm here, I train 3 times a day. I have nothing to do. The only work I have is training.
3 times every day.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And because why I said I've started it and there's a mission I need to complete. You understand? Which I'm still working on. And I've gone to the Paralympic Games, and with God by my side, I did very well. Although, yes, it was not easy, but I did very well. And by God's grace, I'm also preparing to qualify the country again for the next coming Paralympic Games this year. You understand? Because since they started playing table tennis in 1965, I'm the only Sierra Leonean that have ever qualified for the Paralympic Games. Clearly, without no wild card, I played for it and I qualified for it. And I even went to the Paralympic Games as one of the seeded players. You understand? And also, I've played for Africa, not only Sierra Leone. I've also represented Africa as a whole. And in all competitions, my determination is I don't go to competition just to participate. You understand? I go to competition to compete. Yes.
So, looking at all this, how is it for you? Like you mentioned, you win this alone, because unfortunately you've never really gotten the support, maybe being state support, or say maybe like a particular institution that says, okay, I am going to sponsor George. I'm going to sponsor or support the table tennis or para tennis. I think that's what's called, para tennis, table tennis, whichever case. To really push this discipline forward. This means that you've never really gone with your coach or a personal assistant. How has that been for you and your coach, getting you ready for such international competitions alone?
Well, my happiest moment is when I'm training. But when going to competition, I need to go with my coach. And there comes the saddest moment for me. You understand? Because when playing competition, you the one playing, you're not seeing your fault. The only person that sees your fault or mistake is the coach. You understand? So I always go into competition without coach. The only time I've gone to a competition with a coach is when I qualified the country for the Paralympic Games. And it's the biggest game, so I went there with a coach. And also in 2015, I went to the All-African Games in Congo-Brazzaville also. I went with a coach. And the interesting thing is, I'm not only playing table tennis, I'm doing 6 different sports. And I've represented Sierra Leone in 3 different sports internationally. All these medals you're seeing, they are not all for table tennis. I also do wheelchair marathon, I do track and field, I do shot put, javelin, and discus. Like, for example, when I went to the All-African Games, I didn't go there for table tennis. I went there for track and field. When I went to Azerbaijan for the Islamic Games, I didn't go there for table tennis. I went there for track and field. And I'm classified in various sporting disciplines. For example, like a wheelchair basketball, I play wheelchair basketball. I play wheelchair long tennis. I play wheelchair handball. I do wheelchair marathon. You understand?
And you have brought so much. You're literally, if not the only, but you are one of the most decorated athletes in Sierra Leone's history. How has Sierra Leone, in terms of Sierra Leone government and the Sierra Leone people, received you and the laurels you've brought to Sierra Leone? How have they treated you?
I normally say nobody knows me except those around me. You understand? And I will proudly say to you, with all respect, that I have respect for other disciplines. I have respect for other athletes who are in various sporting disciplines. But I will proudly say to you that I am the most decorated in Sierra Leone. Not one of, the most. I've won medals more than any other athlete individually. You understand? But in Sierra Leone, what I see is that if even you win the World Championship 1 million times, all what they will say to you, thank you, God bless you. That's the end. I know other athletes in other countries. They go to competition, they don't win any medals, but just representing their country. They are rich. You understand? I have colleagues in other countries who think I'm super rich. Because, George, we always go to competition, you defeat us, you have medals, you understand? So whatever medal you go to your country, they pay you for it.
I remember the first time I actually got to know about George Wyndham was in 2017, unfortunately, in 2017, when you won the award, the Sports Personality of the Year. Well, of course, this is On the Spot. We'll take a break and we'll take a look at that event, that brought George Wyndham literally to tears. This is the video of the week.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are the nominees.
Sports Personality of the Year. The nominees are George Wyndham, Para Table Tennis, Sierra Leone Beach Volleyball Team, Male, and Amin Hudrog, Sierra Leone Strongest Man 2017.
And the winner is?
With yourself, George Wyndham, Para Table Tennis.
Sports Personality of the Year goes to George Wyndham, Para Table Tennis player. Now, he represented Sierra Leone at the African Championship in Egypt 2013 and won 3 medals. He qualified Sierra Leone for the World Championship in China in 2013. In 2014, he represented our country at the Egypt Open and won 2 medals. Representing Sierra Leone in the Continental Championship in Jordan and won 2 medals. And moving on to Liberia Marathon, he also won a medal. In 2015, he represented Sierra Leone in the All-African Games in track and field events, came 5th out of 30 participants. In the Africa Championship in Morocco, the same year, he won 3 medals, won 2 medals at the Paralympic qualification tour in Morocco. In 2016, George Wyndham represented Sierra Leone in the Paralympic Games in Brazil. He is the only athlete in Sierra Leone that has ever represented Africa in a sports event in Jordan Open in 2014.
Very emotional. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I want you all to know that there is ability in disability. My disability is a motivation for me to go forward in life. I want to say a very big thanks to the Ministry of Sport, NOC, Paralympic Committee, and the Sierra Leone Tennis Association. It has been a long time waiting for this kind of opportunity. Finally, I got it. It's not easy as a disabled participating in sport. I'm the only disabled among thousands of able athletes in this country. But yesterday, I'm a champion. I want to thank Awo. I want to thank everybody. I want to dedicate myself here publicly to my beloved country. I will do more.
Setting up a business can be a headache, finding office space, buying furniture, printers and photocopiers, but if you're not ready for all that, BSI can help. BSI provides furnished and serviced office spaces for the short or medium term, whether it's for a day meeting, a conference or an immediate office rental for a few months. There are no long-term cost commitments and the offices are fully equipped with all your office needs. Or we can simply provide you with a prestigious business address thanks to one of our virtual offices. Find out more about BSI, your office away from the office. Go to bsisl.com or call 076 242 328.
Welcome back. This is On the Spot, and I have with me Sierra Leone's most decorated athlete, George Wyndham. You know, I really remember feeling so much goosebumps when I was reading out all those accomplishments, and all I could think about is, wow, we have such people in Sierra Leone. How did you feel?
Since I started playing sports, that was one of my happiest moments. Being recognized by an institution in my country. I felt so good and I was very happy. Although yes, I was thinking I should have more recognitions before that. You understand? But that was the greatest recognition I've ever had in my country. And even to go down to collect the award was not easy because I was just crying. You understand? And it was really tough for me because those that were as nominees for the award, they were also tense. You understand? They were my brothers, for example, like the two volleyball players, Lombi and Bakar. I mean, we all started this thing together and they also were doing very well. So being disabled among them and winning that medal was, wow. I think I've started gaining recognition in the country.
You have a lot of plans. You've got more plans for yourself. You've got also more competitions this year. Take us through, what next for you in line with that? What's your future goal? Because I know you still want to go study. Coach Joseph said something about that. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, one thing that I'm very conscious of as an athlete is that in Sierra Leone, if even you win world championship, as I said earlier, 1 million times, the day you retire from sports, if you don't be careful, you end up in the street begging. So what I always think is that, what is life after sports? You understand? So I don't have to sit back and focus on sports. You understand? If not something else, but let me study the sports so that tomorrow when I retire, I'll become an administrator in sport. And after the Paralympic Games, luckily for me, the National Paralympic Committee applied for me to go for a course in Morocco. And I was the youngest. And there were other participants that have gone to the Paralympic Games 4 times, 5 times, but I've only been in the Paralympic Games once. And they told me, you are 34 in number, we only need 3 people. I went to the course. Whenever I go out, I don't think of myself. I think of my country. So I always do, yes, my best. And after the course in Morocco, I came second as the youngest. And I became the proud Paralympian. Immediately, I was given a 2-year contract to look over West Africa. And because of my performance, immediately after the course, they sent me to Ethiopia. Ethiopia again, I did very well, more than what I did in Morocco. From there, they said, yes, we think you are immaterial for the International Paralympic Committee, so we are sending you up. So that was where I got the opportunity. As I'm talking to you now, I'm on my way to Germany to do the Paralympian course. If I succeed, then I'll be one of the instructors for the International Paralympic Committee.
That's the whole world. Wow. So I know that as we talk about, achieving whatever you set your mind to, you can audition and you were a participant or a housemate of the just concluded Housemates Sierra Leone. First of all, what made you think you could go and compete and get into that house?
One thing that I always think is that I always think there is ability in disability. Whatever you can do, I can do, or I can even do it more than you. And frankly speaking, I was not here when the housemate business started. And when I came to town, I have so many disabled, including the National Disability for Persons, National Commission for Persons with Disability. They came to me and said, listen, we want you to represent the disability world. At first, I said no, you understand, because I'm not used to it. And I'm already popular, so I'm not going to anything that will make me more popular. They said, listen, we've shot around, you're the only person we think will challenge the able-bodied. And I accepted. I said, okay, as long as it's for colleagues disabled, I will sacrifice myself. And for that housemate, I canceled 2 trips that I was supposed to go. Yes, so I went there willingly. And one thing, to be frank with you, when I entered the house, I told myself, if even I sleep in this house one day, then I go out. It's a big achievement for me, because thousands of people applied. They did not reach this far. I went the first audition, I proceeded to the second audition, I went to top 40, top 20, and then I entered the house. I said, wow.
First of all, when you were called in that stage, how did you feel?
Well, one thing about me, I'm always confident about myself. When we were on the stage, when they were calling names, if you could remember, I was the last person they called. You understand? When they called 19 names, I turned to my friend who is Timbaland. I said, my name is next. Yes, he said, are you sure? I said, yes, my name is next. And luckily for me, they announced my name. So I was so happy and excited. I said, okay, I've achieved what I wanted. At least they know that there are disabled who can challenge the able-bodied.
Yes. Give your housemates a run for their money. You really challenged them. And you stayed in that house for a couple of weeks. When you came out, what was the reception from people? What was the feedback from the crowd? How was it?
Well, actually, as you said, I gave other colleagues tough time, because my problem is I don't need sympathy. You understand? But that was our first time to meet. Most people don't know me, so like they were somehow feeling that sympathy for me, which I don't like. You understand? You are able, I am able. Whatever you can do, I can do. And when I came out, actually for me, it was timely in the sense because I had a national assignment at hand. You understand? If I should have stayed in the house, I should have lost that opportunity. And that opportunity is what brought me who I'm now going to Germany. You understand? So, yes. So when I came out, so many friends, hey, George, we know you didn't come out because of voting. We know. I said, the speech you gave was, I said, yes. You understand? I prefer serving my country than staying in that house for 2 or 3 months. You understand? I am a national servant. If I came out, then I met a national service to go and do, then I just have to do it. You understand? But I told them, don't worry, I achieved what I wanted. What I wanted was to enter the house. And I entered the house, I stayed there for 2 weeks. It's okay. You understand? And the history of housemates will never be written without my name. You understand? So, yes, I'm happy. And
You've come really far. And, I mean, one would say you've come this far on your own. For people who are watching, who'd like to support you one way or the other, I mean, you've got a huge, task ahead of you, having to go through the course and hopefully become an international instructor. How can they go about supporting you financially or otherwise? How can they do that?
truly speaking, as I'm talking to you, I need assistance. I need help. You understand? I have 2 different assignments presently. To Egypt, to represent Sierra Leone. If I succeed, I will take Sierra Leone for the 2nd time to the Paralympic Games. As I'm talking to you, there is nothing to facilitate that program. You understand? For my going to Germany, where I'm going to do the course, they have taken 99.9% of all the charges. You understand? All I need presently is just for me to have my own laptop and some money for pocket money. You understand? That's the only thing I need, which is not even sum up to $1,000. You understand?
I know that there are going to be amazing people watching who would want to support. I mean, if every Sierra Leonean decides to donate 1,000 leones, I just mean 1,000 leones, for a population of 7 million, that's a lot of money. And there are people who can be able to even donate 1 million. So do you have an account number where people can just go in and drop whatever amount? Do you have a phone number they can call, whether you're in Sierra Leone or out of Sierra Leone, wherever you are in the world, that support will reach you? How do they go about it?
I have an account number, but I don't have it offered. But yes, but whoever that wants to support me or that would love to support me, let them come to the National Table Tennis Federation, because I'm not by myself. You understand? I'm serving the country, but I'm under control. I'm under people. I'm under the Table Tennis Association and the National Paralympic Committee. So whosoever that want to render help or assistance, let them come to the National Table Tennis Association, the National Gym here at the National Stadium, and the coach is always here and all the executives are always here.
You know, people like Coach Joseph, they give their time, and every other discipline is not regarded as they should. The country unfortunately is focusing on football, which in my opinion hasn't done much in terms of accolades. Maybe it's time we need to focus on other disciplines like table tennis and every other discipline out there. What would you want to say to the government to support, for example, in this case, table tennis, wheelchair, all the disciplines you're in? What would you want to say to them?
Well, what I want to say is that everything we are doing is manual. We don't have proper equipment. Even this wheelchair I'm using to play is not a proper wheelchair to play table tennis. You understand? And let me tell you an interesting thing. I'm trying my best to bring in other disabled to do sport or play table tennis. You understand? But they always ask me a question that I've never answered. They say, George, you are in this sport. You've done a lot for the country. But the only difference between you and us is that you are going in and out of the country. There's no difference between you and us. So why do you want us to come and do the sport? You understand? We can't leave the streets of begging to come and do a sport, because when you go to the street and beg, we have hundreds of thousands. If we come to the table tennis gym, be there the rest of the day, what do we have? Nothing. And my worry presently is that one day age will tell on me. I will not play table tennis forever. My worry is the day I leave table tennis, that will be the end of para table tennis. So my question is, after George, who will be next in the para table tennis? I want to do more for my country. I love my country so much. And the thing is, I have documents to show to you that I faced naturalization twice, one in Egypt and one in Jordan. I rejected because I have passion for my country. I always ask myself, if you go to any other country and face naturalization, who will represent Sierra Leone? You understand? So this is my worry. And the money they use on football, for example, when our national team is playing, we all love our national team, which is the Leone Star. They use $50,000, $60,000 just for one match. That's $50,000 or $60,000. You give that money to table tennis, it will have table tennis for even 2 years. You understand? With more than 15 or 20 international tournaments. You understand? So I believe, or I think it's high time for the government to focus on other disciplines, you understand, who are doing well. If I'm having the support, for example, football is having just half of that support, trust me, I will be the world number one.
Well, I think this is a call now to everyone who's watching from any part of the world. Let us support. No amount is too small. No support is, irrelevant. You can reach George with, through the contacts below. You can also, support him by paying into his account. All the details are here. I think there's a lot, and it's high time we begin to appreciate our own. And on the spot, definitely would be championing that call. We will be making the plea to everyone out there, individuals, government, institutions, come on board, let's support, and let's really give George Wyndham the deserving and befitting support and respect he deserves. He has done a lot for Sierra Leone, and we must pay him back. So on this note, George, I say thank you very much. We wish you all the best, and I am quite optimistic that you're going to come back with even more awards and laurels and accolades for Sierra Leone. This is On the Spot, so don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial. We'll be back.
Domestic revenue mobilization is a key instrument for the government of Sierra Leone in reducing poverty, increasing financial independence, achieving middle income status, and charting the path for new directions. From supporting the free quality education, good roads, healthcare, electricity, and more.
Domestic revenue mobilization is very critical when it comes to national development.
Through the Asikoda World, we have developed beautiful management tools. We have also developed systems in which it will bring transparency and help to the importer, to the broker.
iTax is a platform for all your domestic taxes. The electronic cash register system is the game changer.
Let's support government by paying our taxes. For more information, visit the nearest NRA office or log on to our website www.nra.gov.sl.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Abu. I am calling for your rental tax payment.
Oh my goodness.
Hello? This is a call from the...
Your colleague is on the other line. Can you just please hold?
You're not a landlord or property agent. You don't hear about rental income tax. As property owner or agent where they collect rent, the law say you for pay tax and are you tax identification number where they call team you they use for pay them.
Yes, me fumble them. The law say without this tax identification number, you not go able to pay your tax. And if you not pay your tax, the law go bet you tranga one. Welcome, sir. Please sit.
Thank you.
We don't make them easy for you now. The law say, since you the collect rent we pass 7.2 million leons, you for come to NIA and pay your rental tax just after we your tenants don't pay you done.
So no more calls from everywhere, eh?
You go just get one SMS or one phone call. We go remind you, sir.
Thank you very much.
For no more, go to any NIA office near you or visit www.nia.gov.sl.
Remember, paying taxes is required by law.
For me, this is what I call a true inspiration. People like this, who against the odds are truly rising above the status quo, who truly are changing the narratives and reminding people like myself that we have so much to be thankful for, and we have no excuse not to go out there and achieve and be who we want to be. For everyone out there who is sitting and waiting for Papa government or Mama government, you have no excuse whatsoever, even if you are living with a disability, not to make an impact in your society or change the narrative or change your situation. Thank you so much. But like I said, this is a two-part interview, and I still have more amazing conversations coming to you, because on this episode, it is all against the odds.